A lot of people are saying that people become trans like because they were abused as kids. Either you were abused or you were a product of neglect. Your father wasn't fatherly enough or your mother wasn't motherly enough and now you're trans, which is like obviously not true. There's been a lot of studies done on that. And there's absolutely no proven correlation between being abused as a kid and being queer, you know? People will reference the statistic that a lot of trans people have been sexually assaulted as kids or otherwise abused. The reason why that number is pretty high is because a lot of kids get abused, sadly, and the numbers aren't higher for queer kids. And it's really easy to just, cherry pick the data. You can say oh, I'm using data, but you can do a lot of things with data. So I say this percentage of trans kids were abused. And then you look at how many of all kids were abused and it's going to be the same number. What the research actually says is that all evidence points to the idea that gender identity for pretty much everybody is established by the time you're 2 or 3, and basically when you're gaining consciousness or whatever, which doesn't mean you're a 2.5-year-old kid and you're mommy, I'm trans or whatever. That's not really how it works. But most of the things that influence that, most of it is kind of already decided. You kind of are who you are. For kids who come out as trans by age 5, there's very low percentage of kids who will change their minds farther down the road. But if you come out by the time you are in your adolescence, there's almost a 0% chance that you change your mind. It basically doesn't happen.